welcome to episode, 21, take 2. My name is Lacey. This is Boris. He's very snuggly today. I am the host of this podcast, and I want to say a big thank you for all returning viewers for sticking with me through this enormous hiatus, and welcome to new viewers. I've gotten a handful of new subscribers, which is kind of cool to see, considering I've been gone for so long. I'm going to put it out there now. I am in my second term of grad school, and it is kicking my butt. It is, don't eat the yarn. Stop eating the yarn. It's a lot of work. Full-time, I'm working full-time as a teacher, and I'm doing full-time credits online for grad school, and it turns into a lot of hours in a week. So my knitting time is really limited, and I feel like podcasting cuts into my knitting time, and I like my knitting time. But I wanted to jump back in. So welcome back to, Boris is saying hello. Get down. He's saying welcome to any new viewers. Welcome back to any returning viewers. Let's get started. Let's talk about where you can find me. Got a dead dog. Look at that. He's so funny. Anyway, you can find me primarily on Instagram as the.knitted.cupcake. You can find me on Ravelry as wouknitter. And we do have a Ravelry group, which is kind of a little dead right now, but that's to be expected when the podcast is a little dead. So, if you search under the groups tab, the Knitted Cupcake Podcast, you will, thanks for that, find us there as well. So join the podcast group. I don't know about knit-alongs and that kind of thing that are going to be going on, just because I just don't really have the time to partake in knit-alongs, let alone, host any knit-alongs. So we'll see. I don't know, but join, introduce yourself, say hi, and we'll see you around there maybe. Let's kick off with finished objects. I don't have a lot to show anyway. If you're a longtime viewer, you know that last year around this time, I started a set of stockings for my boyfriend's mom for Christmas, and I got those done. It was a lot of work. I'm pretty, stockinged out at the moment. What are you doing? I don't have them with me because I was able to get them to her right before Christmas. I think it was the day before Christmas Eve when, you gonna go? You gonna jump down? I think I gave them to her the day before Christmas Eve. So yeah, I will try to put in a picture here so you can see what they look like. The pattern is the Ragg wool stocking by Annie's Woolens, and I knit them out of, will you stop? He's sniffing the yarn. I knit them out of Knit Picks Wool of the Andes and the worsted weight out of a whole variety of colors. I don't have a project page. Probably won't ever have a project page for those. I'm bad at project pages. But I'm going to try to be better at them this year. No promises. My next finished object, hey bud, is, I think I need to put you down for this. Mwah. Okay. He's probably going to go ring the bell to be let out. My next finished object are my first finished object for the year. Yay! And these are the, I'm so sorry, I'm sick. You can probably hear it in my voice. I honestly am struggling to hear myself right now. So I'm just drinking coffee with Reese's peanut butter creamer. Oh my god, it is so good, guys. But also, so I knew of this trick back in college, but I did it with a candle warmer. But Meg from Bad Wolf Girl Sits and Knits has one of these awesome little Mr. Coffee warmers, And I hadn't thought about that since my college years, my undergrad years, because I'm a like all day long kind of coffee drinker, hence the candle warmer as a coffee warmer. So I decided to buy a coffee warmer for myself. And now I constantly have warm coffee, and it's fantastic. I'm really sorry for the sniffling that's going to happen. It's what happens when you're sick, but you want a podcast and you want to get things taken care of and done. Also, new wrap type sweatshirt thing that I'm not quite sure about how I feel about it. Anyway, let's talk about my finished object that I have in person to show you. These are awesome. I love them. There are 2 of them. La da da da. These are the Resfeber. I know that's wrong. I know I just watched Mina's podcast the other day. I was like, oh, that's how you say that. And gone. Nothing. I don't know. Resfeber? Maybe. It's not an English word. But these were from her Wanderlust, there we go, sock collection that she is releasing every other month starting in January. I do have the Cozy collection, I think that one's called. I think so. I can't remember, but there's another one that's, a little more like intermediate. And so I have that one as well. But these ones I love. So this is knit out of Knit Circus yarns in their Over the Rainbow colorway. I bought this yarn on a D-stash. I do think that I don't know if they have it available right now, right this very minute, but I do think that they are still dyeing this colorway. The cool thing about Knit Circus yarns is that when you buy yarn for their socks, they come in 2 identical cakes of yarn, and they come in 3 sizes, which varies the yardage, total yardage that you get. So there's a small, medium, and large. I think I said I got these on a D-stash, and they were in the large, and so there was a total of 100 grams of yarn. And so it really is meant for a larger man foot, or if you wanted really tall socks. Are you coming in, dog? I'm coming. Are you gonna jump on my lap? What are you gonna do? And so, because they have the gradient that runs all the way through, and so you can see I have just a little tiny bit of the green, and I still have, this is just one of the cakes. I still have that much left. So it's a lot. Like, I could have made these extremely long, but I think I cast these off on the last day of January. I needed to get them done, wanted to get them done. But they're awesome. I love them to death. I'm very, very, very thrilled with how they turned out. And it's their Opulence base. So it's cashmere. It's an 80-10-10. It's awesome. So squishy, so soft. And I did knit these on a size 0 because of the cashmere in them. I wanted a little tighter fabric for that because I know they're going to pill. But yeah, so there is a finished object number 1 for the year. And it'll probably be a while before I have finished object number 2. So I have a whole slew of whips because I want to cast on everything, and because my knitting time is so limited and varied, it's hard to, like, I need the right specific project at the right moment to actually be able to work on it. So I have a wide variety of projects on my needles that I am actively working on. But I'm going to go let the dog out to go potty and blow my nose before I continue with that. So hold please. Back. Okay. Whole slew of whips. Let's just start diving in. I'll be honest. I have a guideline of notes that I'm kind of working off of today because I recorded a podcast a month ago and never edited it and never posted it. So I have the notes from that, but I have started a few new things since then. But I've only finished one thing, so go figure. Anyway, I have a whole pile. I have piles of things. So My finished objects were here. Pile of whips on the floor down here. Mondo pile of acquisitions. And that's not even all of the acquisitions that I've gotten since the last time I talked to you. This has been like January. Bad Lacey. Anyway, let's get going. First off, let's do all of the socks first, since that was my finished object. This is living in a very awesome, I love these bags. These are little round bags, so they're round bottom, from Little Fish Stitches. La, da, da. And the person behind Little Fish Stitches is Megan, and I know her from my glory days back in Aberdeen, Washington. I didn't tell you where I'm from. Okay, so I'm from Aberdeen, but we don't need to go into that. I'm currently located in Eastern Oregon. I live just outside of Pendleton, between Pendleton and Walla Walla, Washington. So I'm very close to the Washington and Oregon border in Eastern Oregon. That is where I'm at. It is Sunday, February 11th. And it is, let's talk about the weather. Let's see what my... if you don't have the WT Forecast app on your phone, you need to get it. It's totally naughty, but you can take the naughtiness away and the foul language away, but that's what makes it so fun and entertaining. And so I'm going to tell you right now, there's going to be profanity on this, but that's why I love it. And so I open it up and it bases it off of your weather, and it shows you this little screen. Do we talk about the weather because you have nothing else to effing tell me? Quite appropriate, the fact that I'm talking about the weather on the podcast. It is 38 degrees out there, mostly sunny, which really, it's like a cloudy haze. Let's be honest, it is not mostly sunny, but you can't see any like cloud definition. It's all just kind of gray. Continuing on, we were talking about socks and how I was from Aberdeen. I know Megan, and she's very sweet. I got to hang out with her in Walla Walla last weekend, and we spent all of the money and bought all of the yarn and all of the fabric, and it was great. Anyway, so living in my one of my many Little Fish Stitches bag are my snowfall socks. And these are a pattern by Tabby I'm trying to get it, like my window's over here, my light's over here, so I have to like angle everything a certain way. These are by Tabby from Hey Sister Podcast and Hey Sister Yarn Co. Her snowfall socks. I love them. They're super soft. And these are being knit on Hey Sister Yarn in their Can't Take the Sky From Me colorway on their Stellina base. I don't know if you can see. You see the Stellina? Maybe a little bit. I don't know. Anyway, gold Stellina base. They're really quite... Yeah, you can't see this. Yeah, maybe a little bit you can now. This yarn is gorgeous. The pattern is a blast. It's one of those potato chippy patterns because you have these little pearl chevron ridges that it's like, okay, just one more ridge. And I love them. And I am knitting these on it's not really new to me because I've been knitting on these since like Thanksgiving. But these are my Chowgu mini twists. I did not buy the full set. I just bought one cord and one needle. And these are the short needles. I think the next time I buy any needles, I will buy the longer needles because the sock itself, like, doesn't fully, I don't know if you can see that, fit on the needle tip, which it makes it so there's not really anything to really hold on to. But this cable is crazy. I love the Chowgu needles because of the steel cable in the middle. They don't have any memory. So I've had these matched up in this bag for I don't know how long, and the cable is still perfect. I love them. And the minis, it's an even finer cable than their regular sock needles, so it's even more flexible, which makes Magic Loop really awesome. So I got the 40 inch cable because I do 2 at a time magic loop, and that's just what fits them on the best. So yeah, Snowfall Socks by Tabby out of Hey Sister Yarn Company. Perfect pairing. I love it. Next sock. Let's put this in there. That's gonna fill up fast. I have this great little rose gold basket that I got at clearance at Walmart for $3. It's gonna fill up really fast if I keep tossing them in here, but that's okay. Okay, next sock. Let's talk about these ones. They're kind of hiding in here. Oh wow, I'm really. What am I doing? What is happening? This is what happens when you podcast a month ago and you don't really put things away. You just kind of shove it in your shelves. Oh, this is a mess. Okay, so if you follow me on Instagram, again, the.knitted.cupcake, you saw me working on these socks between Christmas and New Year's when I was road tripping down to Arizona. Woo! That was a blast. Over Christmas, I was working on probably my snowfall socks and something else, I think. And my older brother started commenting on my socks and how they were cool, and he wants a full knitted bodysuit, and I now want to knit him that like full cabled onesie. I really don't want to because he's 6'5", but I joked that I would, but I think he thinks I'm serious. Chase, it's not happening. Not happening. But anyway, you know, they were commenting on how I'm just always knitting and I knit so fast and blah, 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 blah. And my mom comes in and joins the conversation and eventually looks at me and goes, apparently my hints aren't enough. I want socks. Okay, Mom. So I, on the way kind of back home, it was a whole long story, but I stopped at a yarn shop that's in Chehalis. Oh, and I can't remember what it's called. Oh, my bad. And I picked up some knitted wit. And this is her Victory sock base, her 80/20. And the speckly variegated purple is seriously ? And the gold is salted caramel. And I am knitting these I say my, but they are mine, but I bought them there because I didn't have a spare set of needles. And these are Hiya Sharps, size 1, 40-inch cable, blah, 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 blah. Obviously toe up. They do have heels in them. I am approaching the point where I do want to add another couple gold stripes. I have my little mini balls of the salted caramel. That's what was attacking me earlier. And so I can't quite decide if I want to just do towards the top right below the cuff, do like 2 stripes of the salted caramel, kind of like I did this one little stripe down here, and then finish off the cuff in the Seriously color. I don't know, but let me tell you, I freaking love the knitted wit. I have knit a hat. I want to say it's out of her Aran base. I could be wrong though. And her colors are just phenomenal. I mean, can we talk about the speckling on these socks really fast? I mean, look at that. That's crazy. They're beautiful. And they don't pull. They don't do anything weird like that. They're just beautifully dyed. So, and I love it because she is based out of Oregon, which I'm not from originally. I am a native Washingtonian, and I'm proud to be a native Washingtonian. However, I went to college for my undergrad in Washington, and I wonder if this will help. Ooh, that really, nope. That's really dark, nope. Fussing with my light, sorry. Northwest. I'm a Northwest girl, so Washington, Oregon, it all has my heart. So the fact that she's a local to me dyer, and she does such amazing things. I do want to pull one thing. I'm making a mess here. So during my time at that little yarn shop, You and I, EWE and I, in Chehalis, Washington, that is where I bought this at. I did also pick up this skein of, wrong way, again, Victory Sock, her 80/20 in the PDX carpet color, which just makes me so happy, because if you are a Northwest native or have flown through Portland and have seen their carpet, it's a thing to, take a selfie of your feet on their carpet. And so now I can have their carpet on my feet, which just cracks me up. So that was a bit of acquisitions, but that was back in December, so I didn't include it in this pile, but it's in that giant bag. Anyway, socks for mom. Next pair of socks. Let's do these ones. I'm calling these is in a bag that I got from the whole Get Your Yarn Wish Granted thing. I had said I just love a knitting surprise, and this person so kindly made this kind of patchwork Christmas bag, which I just love. And even the ribbon is festive. But in here, I am calling these my non-spousal socks because I'm not married, but they're for my significant other. Ta-da! So I do have the, sorry about that, earthquake. The Cocoa Knits little marshmallow stoppers. I love them because they remind me of the little colored fruity marshmallows. And I am knitting these out of Regia, not Arnie and Carlos, that's a different pair. Regia Perfect, and I did just split the one skein into two, so I can do two at a time. And I love this. I love having, I didn't have to weigh my yarn. I knew exactly where to stop and cut and wind the rest. And I am doing these completely ribbed down the front of the sock, just a 2x2 rib. And the back of the sock is plain. So I have this gray stripe to finish, and then a navy, and then I go into the foot of the sock. So I'm kind of close to being halfway done with these. But yeah, these are on my ChowGoo fixed US ones. And yeah, I think I have 72 stitches on these. Let's see here. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 30, 32, 34. Yep, 72 stitches for a big man sock. So these are the non-spousal socks. Speaking of non-spousal socks, let's do non-spousal socks part 2. Let me find them. Living in another Little Fish Stitches bag. This is actually sharing a bag with another project. But these are spousal socks, non-spousal socks, part 2. And these are out of the Arnie and Carlos Regia. And these I need to put little stoppers on. And these obviously I'm doing on my little baby 9-inch Circus. I have my heel. The heel is out of like a Deborah Norville sock, and it's got bamboo in it too. So it's wool, nylon, and bamboo. I've got the sit, I've got the leg. They're really fun. These are great homework knitting now that I have a needle. Oh my god. Now that I have a heel in there. And I did Fish Lips Kiss, but I did do the little mini gusset from Mina Phillip. So that's there to give him just a little more space at the top of his foot along his instep. I know these have like a colorway name, but I don't remember which one it is. It says color 03656, and that is that. Ta-da! And I got these at a yarn shop down in Eugene, Oregon, from Cozy. Really cute shop. Has a lot of a lot of Oregon dyers, which is really cool. Oh yeah, here, Deborah Norville Serenity sock weight, and these are, let's see here, 50% merino, 25 rayon from bamboo, and 25 nylon. So really it's kind of a 50-50 wool and a strong fiber. So these are good, I think, for heels and toes. And I got these from a little kind of quilt shop store place here in Pendleton. I'm saving that because there is something else in that bag. My last sock, holy cow, I have all the socks on the needles right now. I do need to look up the name for it. But again, in another, look at that, Little Fish Stitches bag. I'm telling you guys, these are amazing. From Megan. I love it because you can just fold it down. And then it turns into just like this great little yarn bowl bucket bag. Or you can flip it up, hold it on your arm, knit like that. Which I've done many a times. And they're great. So let me look at the name of this really fast because I am really just, I can't remember things right now because I have Dayquil brain. Come on, go. Recent. I keep most of my patterns on my phone in an app called Tiny PDF. And I love it because you can actually mark up the patterns. You can highlight, you can type notes, you can circle, you can do all sorts of things. And then it saves on your phone, so you can kind of keep track that way. So yeah, Tiny PDF. It's a great one. Okay, yeah. These are the Warm and Snug socks. And I want to say this from Mina Phillip, and I do want to say that this is from her Cozy sock collection. So this is her second sock collection that she has this year that will be released every other month. So she had the Wanderlust, which started in January, March, May, July, but so every other month starting in January. These ones are every other month starting in February. So I wanted a new sock every month, so I bought both. And these, I love these, primarily because of the color. I'll be honest, the pattern itself, I'm like, it's okay. But I'm not, I love the Resfeber, whatever that one was, January sock month pattern, a lot more. I just found it more interesting, but these ones are nice. They're nice. They're going to be fine. And it made, because it's only on the leg of the sock, it made knitting the foot really fantastic. So these are being knit out of Nomadic yarns in the Luna colorway, and these are on her Stellina base, which you can see. This Stellina is everything. This color is everything. Let's talk about that for a second. I love how tonal her stripe colors are. I think they're stunning. They're gorgeous. And I just have black Regia toes and heels. So, I mean, they're just black. They work really well. They work fantastic with it. And I have one little welt done. And so what I'm going to do for these is on the pink stripe and on the peach stripe. Those are going to be the welts. And yeah, so I'm working up the leg. Like I said, I have one little welt done. And yeah, there's really not a whole lot to say there. Warm and Snug, right? Warm and Snug by Mina Phillip. Yep. Warm and Snug socks. I have seen people knit them up out of Felici, which has a wider stripe, but I don't think they're quite as wide as this stripe, and it makes a larger welt, and they do look very cool. But I didn't want to just do the gold welts, so I don't know. I just thought that it would be fun to do just the pink and the peach. So yeah, these are my February socks, which at this rate, I'm pretty sure they'll be done this month. I hope they'll be done this month. Oh, that's what I forgot to bring. I bought a new box for my box of socks for this year yesterday. They're pretty, but yeah. Anyway, that's it for sock talk. I have so many socks on the needles. It's a bit embarrassing. But I will say, there are only 2 for me on the needles, and 1, 2, 3 for other people. So, not too shabby, right? Right. Okay. Next up, I have cardigans, which I have 2 on the needles. I have so many whips right now, guys. It's crazy. I love this bag. So, I don't think that you guys have seen any part of any of this, unless you follow me on Instagram or watch part of Vlogmas. But living in here, this is a bag from the Scrappy Thread, which now houses my buttons for now. These will move eventually. I don't know when, but they're gonna move. Because Megan, again, Little Fish Stitches, she's amazing, guys, I'm telling you. Just came out with a new design for her bags like this, to where the bottom portion, you need to go watch her podcast, she talks all about it, is done in canvas and has a zipper that runs all the way around, so you can unzip it and pin your little pins in the canvas, and that way the backs aren't on the inside of your project bag. And yeah, so when she was here, I bought fabric and sent it home with her and said, make me one of these, because they're awesome. And so then, I don't know, I think it'll just be my, let's see, my 2 enamel pins. These are from the Clever Clove, this one and this one. Those will for sure move because they do have the pin back. The other ones are just buttons that may stay on this bag, I don't know. But again, Scrappy Thread, I love this bag. Wax canvas, little top, it's so soft. Living in this bag. Oh, can you tell what that is? Oh, this is gonna be a mess. My Comfort Fade cardigan. I did not think I was gonna jump on this bandwagon because I don't have, well, now I do, but I don't have DK weight in my stash. DK weight, oh my gosh, oh, my life. DK weight is generally a little out of my price range to buy things for a large project like this. And yeah, especially because I didn't have any in my stash to build off of. I had to get 8 skeins of DK weight yarn, which is not cheap. It just isn't. Let's be real, people. It's not cheap. I don't need 8 skeins of fingering weight to get a sweater done. I would need 8 to 10 for a worsted weight, but for whatever reason, I feel like worsted weight is less expensive than DK weight. I don't know why. Maybe it's just the dyers I've been buying from, but DK weight sweater has not been something that's been like on my radar. And so then with this cardigan coming out, I was like, oh, that's not gonna happen. Whatever. And then my amazing boyfriend did buy me and gift me 8 skeins of So Happy Jane for Christmas. And they're beautiful, and her yarn, I'm hooked, guys. She's an amazing dyer. She's from Washington. So again, one that I would consider local to me. And this is what I've got. Can you see it? I'm hoping you can see it. Yeah, you can see that. Look it. It's beautiful. I am so happy with how this is turning out. So this is out of her DK weight. I don't need to show you how much these were. I mean, if you want to. Her Delightful DK, which is 100% superwash merino. This is the first color in my cardigan, and I want an entire sweater knit out of just this color. That may have to happen. That may just be a splurge, because look at that. How stunning is that? It's beautiful, right? Right? So this is Agate Beach, which then this is probably the biggest fade section, like the most obvious, but then that fades into Spin Me Round, which is really another gorgeously fun color, which then fades into Lavish. And up until this point, I've been fine knitting with just from one skein. However, and then Lavish will fade into, this is the last color, contemplation, so it's considerably lighter, but still has the same kind of mustardy, some of the darks that run through there. So I think it's going to be a really beautiful fade into that. I did start alternating skeins. Well, this is the inside, but that's fine. For the Lavish color, just because when I first started knitting with it and got through the fade section, it was just knitting with that one. I felt like I had some speckles stacking on top of each other. So I'd have a big blotch of that light color and then a blotch of a darker brown. And I didn't like that. I wanted it to really be mixed because that's how the rest of the cardigan has looked. And so I did skein up my second skein, rip out to the end of the fade section. I just figured the fade section's fine, no big deal. So I ripped back probably about an inch or two and then wound up my second one. Well, I'm glad I did that because you can see the difference between how these are dyed. Not how they're dyed, but just the color intensity. So this is just, again, another lesson in alternate skeins, even in these fades, because this is the one I started with. And had I just done this whole section in this one and then come the sleeves thrown in the darker one, it would be so different. So I'm glad I made the decision to start alternating skeins because it broke up I don't want to say it was pooling. It was just a stacking of the colors and the speckles. But yeah, so I do have a few things that I want to talk about as far as tools go for this cardigan because I'm really excited about them. I'm knitting these on my ChowGoo, I think US 6 for the body, and then all the edges will be in a 5, and again on my ChowGoos. And so I wanted to try for these guys 12-inch circulars for the sleeves. So I have a 6 and a 5. Because I like the idea of just being able to go around, and not have to fuss with magic loop or DPNs. So I'm really quite excited to give the 12-inch circulars a shot. Also, with this, I don't know if you can see, these are where my sleeves are being held. And these are on a leather cord. And I saw this on Yarn Hoarders podcast. Whew, my nose. I may have to take a break here and blow my nose in a minute. And these are from Coco Knits. Again, something that there we go, paid a little more than I really would have wanted to or liked to. But I know with how many garments I want to make this year that it's going to be a really nice tool to have. So it's just a little box, opens up. It has a little instruction sheet, and then it has your cords. I have all sorts of, I have stitch markers and stuff hanging out in here too. Because who doesn't need more little places to stash your stitch markers? So it has 2 shorter cords for your sleeves and 1 longer cord for your body. And then it comes with these little, let me open it up, needle tips. And so you're not going to be able to tell, but the little needle tip, I mean, you can kind of see that it's hollow, but it's threaded on the inside. And so what you do, you kind of have to trim off a little end of your cable or of your little cord to make it a little smaller to fit in there. But you just take your needle, screw it on, and like I am pulling on this thing, and it's not coming off. And so you screw it on there, you transfer your stitches from your working needle to the cord that needs to be held, tie your end, unscrew, keep knitting, and then when it comes time to start working on your sleeve stitches again, You can easily knit straight from this again. You just screw your little needle back on there and start knitting straight from it, which is super convenient and exciting, and then it just screws right off. And it's awesome. Like, it's one of those tools that is 110% unnecessary, but 100% beneficial and awesome. I can hear Boris barking. He wants back in. So I'm going to wrap up this little sweater section. Sweat attack. But yeah, so it's a great little kit, Coco Knits, if it's something that you feel like you can spend the money on. I think it was like $24. I'm not going to lie. It was not cheap. It was not inexpensive. But again, if garments are your thing, this, I think, is a tool that just makes it a little more enjoyable, and makes it a little easier. So that is that cardigan. Let's stuff it all back in there and stitch it back up again. The scrappy thread. Also another Oregon maker, which is so fun. I love being able to support, and now that is full, local makers, local dyers, local crafters. It makes me so happy. And so anyway, I'm going to go let the dog back in and blow my nose. I'll be back once again. Someone is back inside. Will you? Hi. I know. You missed everybody too, didn't you? You missed everybody too, didn't you? Okay, so we have wild dog. Get under the blankie and chill. Get under the blankie and chill. Oh, thank you. Thank you, Boris. Oh, thank you. Oh, thank you. Oh, thank you. No, people want to see your face, not your back. Oh, thanks. People. Oh, thank you. Thanks. People want to see your face. I smell my coffee. People, look at your face. Oh, look at your face. Oh. Okay. Get down there. So I have my electric blanket and it's turned on. This is where I do homework, and down at my feet is where he curls up most nights and sleeps. And he will probably do that right now. Yep, he's getting comfy. So it's great. I love it. Anyway, another cardigan. This one. It's not a lot because it's living in a tiny little bag. And this is a bag from Molly Klein Design. I love another bag maker that I absolutely love and adore. Not local to me, though. I think she's in Indiana. And this is the sad beginnings. Not the sad beginnings, but just the very, beginnings. I keep looking at this and thinking the gauge is weird. So I need to look at my gauge and see if it's right. I don't gauge swatch. Confessions. Gauge swatches lie. I don't believe in them. So, for the most part, my gauge matches most designers. And so, I don't gauge swatch. I just stick with the needle that they recommend, get most of the time about this far into it, and decide, do I like it? But as you can see, there's a lot of holes. But this is Cloudborne something or other, just wool. And so I think that it will bloom and open up when I block it. But this is the beginnings of my timber cardigan. And it's so hard to get this color. Like, it's a little more purple than this. It's the magenta from Cloudborne. I bought it when they had the Zadie kits. Super cheap. Because I wanted a sweater quantity for super cheap. Again, it's got my little Coconuts marshmallows on there. These are Knitter's Pride needles in a size 8. I have a Progress Keeper from Simply Serving HK. She had these in October for breast cancer awareness. And it's a little boxing glove with a breast cancer ribbon on it. I mean, her level of detail just, oh, come on, blows my mind. I love that you can see the little lacing stitches there. I don't know. I love her Progress Keepers. They're so lightweight. doesn't matter how big they are. I have got a massive one from our Harry Potter kit that is huge, but does not weigh down my stitches. It's crazy. So again, that's from Simply Serving. Timber Cardigan by Shannon Cook. Not a whole lot to talk about. This is just kind of hanging out right now. I have not touched this in months, like November, I think. So, yeah. I do want it. I do want to get it done. But it's just kind of, I don't have the brain power or time to put into this level of focus for that cardigan. Right now, my comfort fade is just straight stockinette, or reverse stockinette, I guess, down the body of it. And the only thing I need to pay attention to is how long my color section is, so I know when to fade the next one in. But Molly Klein Design bag, Timber Cardigan by Shannon Cook, some Cloudborn worsted yarn that I bought off Grafsy. So that's cool. Okay, so that's it for garments. I have 3 accessories to talk about now. Can we count my whips? Like, do we dare do that? I had 5 socks, 2 garments, and now 3 accessories. 10 whips that I'm talking about this time. Girl, we gotta get this together. Get some stuff off the needles. Whip number 1. Again, Megan, Little Fish Stitches. This is a bag she gifted me for my birthday. I've talked about it before. It's my macaron bag. I absolutely love it. I love how bright it is. I love how... I'm typically not a big fan of things being this stiff, but this one, for whatever reason, I love. It's awesome. And this project is like busting out of this bag. It's not going to fit in it for much longer, which is fine. But I wanted to use it. I've got my hair all over this thing. Gross. But yeah, and the inside matches the handle, and it's got like this great little pocket. Anyway, living in here, I love it because I feel like I'm talking about so many of my favorites today, and it just makes me so happy. And they're people that I know. So in my Little Fish Stitches bag, from Megan, who I know, is my Project Peace shawl. And this is being knit out of a Perfect Stitch Fiber Company in their Come Together. Is that what you are? Yes, her Come Together colorway. So there we go. Perfect Stitch Fiber Company, who, if you don't know Jen of the Perfect Stitch Fiber Company, go check her out because she is an amazing dyer as well. Megan is also an amazing dyer. So I highly recommend that you go check out both of those people. And this is fun. Where did that come from? This skein has got some blue in it, which I see no blue specks. So I may need to start fading that in if I want to do the large size. I originally intended to do the large size in this shawl, and I may just do the smaller size. I don't know. But this is the Project Peace shawl, and this is by Christina Campbell. And yeah, it is supposed to represent like ripples and waves going out. So it's got these little garter ridges that as you go along get further and further apart, and then the edge has kind of a feather and fan pattern along the edge, like a really big section that I will be doing in the Smog colorway from Jen. And these are out of her DK base. DK is so big right now. It's crazy. So I will have this gray as the edge color, which Grello, I love her take on the Grello with the pops of pinks and how this one has random bits of this blue in there is really fun. Like, I don't know. She's awesome. I love her to death. And I think even her yellows are a little brighter in this one. So again, people, hand-dyed yarn, alternate skeins. But yeah, so Project Peace, Christina Campbell, super fun asymmetrical shawl. So obviously I started on this little end with like 3 stitches. I have a Progress Keeper that is my little I love you hand shape, which I love because I Was an interpreter. Now I'm a teacher for the deaf and hard of hearing. Sign language is kind of my jam. So I did make this little charm, this little progress keeper. I didn't make the charm. I put it into a progress keeper form. So there's that. But yeah, so who knows? The small size is supposed to take just one of this color and one skein of the edge color. The large size is 2. Hence why I have 2 skeins of the speckled and one of the other. Where are you going, doggo? He emerged. But yeah, so there's that. I'm not letting you out. You were just outside for a long time. He's got this bad habit of just wanting to go outside. Which is fine. I mean, he's a dog. I get it. But it's quite obnoxious. So I have to, cram it in there. So there's that bag. Okay. Accessory number 2 is living in my Sunshine and Bubblegum Wheezing Wizards project bag. I love this project bag. I love drawstrings. I really do. And this is my She Rises hat. And I'm really excited about it. I don't know how well you're going to be able to see it. Can you see it? I've got 4 of the little fisty things, which are fun. But it is so dark. It's hard to see. I don't know if you can see that or not. I'm going the wrong way. But yeah, so this is a pattern by, I know her, Riza Knits on Instagram. This is obviously one of my newer cast-ons, because I don't have it written down. Yeah, by Riza Knits. She Rises. And I love the thought behind this pattern. It just makes me so happy. I'm knitting this at a lemonade shop. It's an Oops skein. It's her worsted base, but it's really a fine worsted. I would maybe think it's more closer to a DK base. So I went down needle sizes. Here's the tag. Oopsie worsted, 218 yards. So I don't know. It's hard to... Yeah, I'm looking at other DK weights and I'm like, it's closer to a DK weight than a worsted is how I feel. On it I also have my little pussy hat stitch marker from Yarnistry on Etsy, which is super fun. It's sparkly and glittery and all things good like that. I love it. Anyway, so I want to read Riza's description for this because I love it. So every day in a million ways she rises. Celebrate the strength, diversity, and ingenuity of women in this versatile knit. With 3 fits to choose from and endless color and styling possibilities, there's a hat for every woman in this pattern. The motif of 5 stems rising up can represent flower buds bursting forth from the earth, fists of unity raised by women who refuse to be silent, beautiful new beginnings, strength and togetherness, or whatever else is sparked by your imagination. Feel free to make this pattern your own. I love that. It makes me proud to be a woman, proud to be part of this whole revolution and movement that's going on in our world today. I love the idea of women standing together and rising together and supporting one another and encouraging one another. And it almost makes me emotional to think about it. And so I really, from the day on Instagram that Riza started talking about it, I have been wanting to knit one and make one. And I think she's also coming out with a wall motif hanging with the same motif on it, which makes me so excited. And I have people that I want to make that for and gift it to. So this is a phenomenal pattern by a phenomenal woman who just is so inspiring and so amazing. So check that out. She Rises. You can kind of see how that's a little kind of bud coming up. She is doing a knit along. I think it ends on the 14th. So I'm going to try to get this done so I can enter. I don't know, but it's a cool pattern, great pattern, really cool inspiration, and I highly encourage you to check it out. So there's that one. Ta-da! Okay. Last accessory whip. This is crazy, guys. I've got so much going on. Is another non-spousal knit. Can you tell? I've just been on this kick of I need to knit him all the things. And this is being knit out of I love seeing this yarn in natural light, and you are not ever going to be able to see it. Like, it just, the depth of this color is amazing. So this is from Jake from Dogstar Knits, like, and he custom did this for me. Before he moved, and I think I was one of the last people that he had talked about of like, custom order, need to get it done. Like, I'm sorry if I put stress on you. That was not my intention. Like, you totally could have waited and it would have been okay. So I really appreciate you getting it done. But you're not, hello, you can kind of see a little bit the depth of this color, but definitely not like that. What if I had my face? Get it close. Are you gonna blow it out? Yeah. A little bit. It just doesn't, it's not gonna do it. It's a beautiful color. And I sent him all I sent him, I think, was the video game cover. It's one of my boyfriend's, like, all-time favorite video games, which I got for him, like, no big deal. And it's The Witcher 3. And I said, he really loves this game, but he's a dark person. Like, when he first requested socks from me, he wanted them to be solid black. No. I mean, that's just his personality. Very plain, nothing wild, which is totally fine, but there's a way to do very subtle and subdued, and it doesn't have to be black. So, in fact, these socks are, like, so wild and crazy for him. Like, these are going to be insane. But he's getting them anyway. And so I sent him the video game cover, and Jake on his own went out and did a little more research and found an inspiration picture and based it off of that. That was very dark and awesome. And it is, I can never pronounce it right, Gwynblade, which is like the dark wolf or something like that. I don't really know. But anyway, so not only did he dye me up this, yeah, you can kind of see the depth of color there. I mean, it's reddy, browny, with these kind of light gray, blue bits throughout. It's really a stunning color. Really stunning. And then he sent me a coordinating skein to go with it. That draws out those lighter kind of slate gray blue shades in it. And when I got it, I said, this can't be just a pair of socks. It has to be something that is seen, is visible. And I'll be honest, I'm halfway tempted to take this out and start something different. But I don't know. I can't decide. He requested some sort of, I told him, I said, I don't want to knit you socks out of this. It's too pretty. I want it to be able to be seen. And so he's like, okay, well, like a scarf or something. And so I found, I don't even know if I can find the name of it now. Yes, this is the Speckled Scarf by Pearl Soho. And it's just a slip stitch pattern. So it has these little dots that run through it. And so the main color is the Gwynblade. And then he called this like Gwynblade alternate or something like that. And so those are the little bits, the little dots coming through. But I keep seeing people doing sorry, the finger and weight brioche bandana cowl, which I've done, and I love mine, and I'm thinking, ooh, I wonder how this would look in it, because it's such a subtle difference in color, which is perfect for the boyfriend, that I'm kind of, this would take so long to do a whole scarf just like this, which is fine if that's what, the backside's really cool too. It brings out the blue a little more. If that's what he wants, I will do it for him. But part of me likes the idea of doing the bandana cowl and having the longer tube so it's more scrunched at your neck. I think that may be better, because he can just slip it on over his head. He doesn't have to worry about, how do I wear this? What does it? So I may bring that up to him and be like, okay, what about this? Like, it's been a challenge trying to find something to knit with these, because I want it to be just right. And he kept pestering me anytime I started something new, or was like, look at this. He was like, how's my scarf? Where's my scarf? And I'm like, sorry, I'm not doing it yet. Haven't cast on, haven't done anything. So I cast this on Super Bowl Sunday just as something to show him, like, I do love you. I have started something. But now I'm thinking about ripping it back and changing it up and doing something different. But again, I'm really excited for David to get, no, not David, Jake. David is David Dog Dare. Hey, David, if you're watching. Jake from Dogstar. I'm excited for him to get dyeing again, because he really does have a great sense of color, and I like how he does like nerdy themes, but with his own twist. So I'm excited for him to get dyeing again once he gets settled into his new house in Arizona. So that is that. And again, that was living in Little Fish Stitches bag with the crazy non-spousal socks. So this is the non-spousal bag, I guess. Yeah, you're gonna go ring that bell. Dog is at the door wanting out of the room, but I'm not letting him. Okay. So that is the more, I don't know, they're just whips, but I do have some blanket whips that I do kind of want to talk about. They're scrappy blankets. And again, if you watch Vlogmas or follow me on Instagram, maybe I've posted one of them, but you have for sure seen this one. This is my granny stripe blanket, which is huge. Oh, now pulling it out, I just want to work on it. I love it. Is this not gorgeous? So the last time, wait, where is it at? There it is. I talked with you guys. I was all the way down at this stitch marker down here. Right here. So I've done a lot, but it's also been a long time since I've seen you. I love this blanket. I love it. It's just a random minis. Some of them are minis that you attached to something? Yes, you are. I've used myself in projects. Some of them are minis that I've been sent. It's a wide variety of things. When I started the blanket, I was doing just 2 rows, like down and back, with my colors. And then I decided I don't want to deal with all those ends. And then that meant that I had little bits and bobs still left over. So I didn't like that. And then what happens if I stopped like halfway through the second row? Like, it just... So I've changed it, and now I still don't like doing more than 2 rows in one color. And it's crazy because right in here, those are like 4 different skeins of yarn. I should have broken them up, but they came from one of my knitter friends back in Wenatchee before I moved. She gifted them to me for my blanket, and as well, like this neon pop. Let's see here. So all the way from here up until where this yellow is, those are all minis from people in Wenatchee. that I used to knit with when I lived there. And so I wanted to keep all of those together because they just made me happy. And so there's that. So that is one scrappy blanket. Ooh, things have fallen. And that is living in my, I want to say ebony pearl bag. This came from a Get Your Own Wish granted, not this most recent year, but the year before. It's nice and big. It's really good for a project like this. It will be able to live in there for a while. And then my other scrappy blanket is my cozy memory. Yay! There's not a whole lot. Yeah. I've got a lot of ends, but I'm trying. So like these guys in the middle, their ends are woven in. They're not trimmed yet, but they're woven in. So as I like surround a square, I'm trying to weave in the ends so I just don't have wild and crazy. But you can see my pineapple stitch marker. I'm wanting to do kind of more a center out with my, kind of with my lines. And yeah, so I am knitting these on a US 3. I think the pattern called for a 2. I'm basing it off of the Coziest Memory by Campbell. And then I'm using the center double decrease modification that Katie from Inside 23 did, because I want those very obvious lines. And so I have a wide variety of yarns in here. Again, some of them are from me, some of them are from minis that I've gotten from other people, but I love all of it so far. Again, pulling it out now, I haven't worked on it since before Christmas, and I want to add more squares. I think that I have, what is that, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3. Okay, so I have, this I think is half. So it's 6 squares. So I want it to be a total of 12 squares because that's pretty wide, a good couch size like width. Maybe I'll go up to 14. We'll see. But I mean, right now, if I put the blanket centered on my lap, it's hanging off by a number of squares, like over the edge of my chair. So I think, I don't know, let's hold it up to the width of this blanket and see how we go. Granted, for it to be, I'm still a couple squares shy of it being, like, I need to add one more square for it to be a total of 12 across, so I think this is like a queen size blanket. So it's definitely at least a twin. So I'll add another square and it'll make it about that wide. So that's shy of a queen size. So maybe I'll add a few more across and turn it into a queen size quilt or blanket. You want under there? Did mom not let you out? So yeah, there's my cozy memory, which I love. So I'm doing a square in here. And then if I have, I think like 7 grams, at least 7 grams left, I'll do a stripe or as much as I can in my granny stripe blanket. And if I have 7 grams or left, then I've been adding that into a magic knot ball, which I'm just setting aside and saving for, are you okay? Just my next, I think, granny stripe blanket, because they're going to be shorter sections. Or maybe I'll do, are you okay? The bits and bobs blanket. I don't know, but I don't want to throw away scraps anymore. So if there are at least 2 grams of yarn, anywhere from 2 to 7 grams of yarn, I have been adding it to the magic knot ball if it's already in this blanket. But I want at least 7 grams because I think it's 15 to go back, like from one end all the way back to the other. I think it's 15 grams for my granny stripe. So if I can do at least 1 stripe, then I'm going to put it in that blanket. But if I can't, then I'm putting it in the magic knot ball. Does that make sense? I hope so. Okay, so that concludes all of what I'm working on. It's a lot. I have a lot that I'm working on, but everything kind of serves a purpose for where I'm working on. I think the only thing that I really am not actively working on right now is my timber cardigan. That's it. So this is the point in time where I am going to jump into acquisitions, and I'm not joking when I have a pile. So if that is not something that you are into or want to see, it is an excessive amount of wool pickery. I'm not going to lie. I'm very pleased with every single one of my purchases, but it's almost embarrassing how much is there. I don't know. But yeah. So I'm going to dive into that. If that's not what you're into seeing, thanks for stopping by. Thanks for joining me. And hopefully I'll see you in 2 weeks. We'll see. If not, you want to stick around for my acquisitions? Let's get into the wool pickery. First up, I want to hit some destashes, or I want to talk about some destashes that I took part in. I was able to get, and this is Life in the Long Grass. I've never had them before, but they are stunning, and these are all DK weight. So I am broadening my DK weight collection, which is really exciting. And these are all club colorways, which makes it even more exciting because, well, I'm a little sad because I know that I can't get any more of them if I want them. But this, I'm assuming, was probably from last year. She doesn't have any years on it, but considering it's a December, January, February, it's definitely not this year because I got these all in last month in January. So, the December colorway is Icebreaker, which is really stunning. January is Daybreak. Pinks and oranges, a little bit of green and purple in there, which is really fun. And then February is Spring Break, which I don't know, could pair these two together in some fun brioche goodness. I don't know if I could pair, I don't know, can I pair these all together? I don't know. That's got the good orange chunk in it, so could I go a fade from this one to this one? I don't know. Maybe they could all work together. I don't know. If anything, I can do some hats. I can do gloves. They're just really gorgeous, and I'm really, really happy to have these. I do not regret that one bit. My next destash was from, I'm missing one of my whips, but that's okay. These are from No Law Knits, and she posted on Instagram. Look at these. Look at how fun these are. That she was doing a destash, and these were discontinued bases, discontinued colorways, and I'm going to tell you I got these for a steal. Like, I think I paid for these 4 less than what you would pay for just one skein. So she was really like, get them out, which I will be happy to take advantage of these. And these are a 75-25, I believe. Yeah, merino nylon. But she doesn't have the yardage on them, which kind of bums me out. But I'm assuming that's going to be like 463 or something. The standard kind of 75-25. And I love the pops of neon green in here. It's her Open Woods colorway. I think it's the base that's discontinued. I don't know if she's still dyeing the colorway, but it's a really fun colorway. I really love it. Because it's got, I'm trying to hold all of them at once, but it's got these little bits of purple. It's got bits of black, bright neon green, all on kind of a neutral, natural base, which is so fun. And then there's a bit of like Kelly green teal with, look at the little baby bits of pink. I mean, it's really a cool color. that I'm so excited about. So again, Nola Knits. She has some really fantastic colors and yarns in her shop. Go check her out. Just because she is. I think she's a dyer based out of Georgia. And there she is. Nola Knits. Go find her, follow her, buy some yarn from her. Because it's all really fun. So let's dump that back there. Oh, no, more D-stash. So the yarn shop owners of the yarn shop that just opened up this fall near me, it's about 20 miles away from me, decided, that keeps the bottom of that really hot. Turn that off. That they were going to kind of host their own D-stash in their shop and call their skeins All the Single Ladies, which made me just crack up. I loved it. And so through that D-stash, I was able to get some yarns that I would consider a little harder to come by. So I picked up these 2 skeins of Plucky Knitter. This one is the Big Sky colorway, and it's their Oxford base, which is a 75-25, and it's this really gorgeous, deep navy, slightly tonal, like, I don't know if you'll be able to see that, but there's some light and some darks, but very slightly tonal. Really, it's a solid, I would say. And then I got their feet base, which is a 90-10 merino nylon, and it's the Trousseau colorway. I don't know how to pronounce it. Trousseau? And it's just a really kind of rosy color. It's really pretty. I love it. So my kind of solid and tonal is non-existent in my stash. So I thought this was a great way to add some really nice solids, tonals, in some yarn that are a little more difficult to come by, i.e. plucky. I also was able to pick up some what is formally known as caterpillar green. I can't think of what she goes by now. I can't remember. Oh, because she doesn't go by caterpillar green anymore. But this is her MCN figurine self-striping. So it's a 70% merino, 20% nylon, 20% cashmere, 10% nylon. It is so soft. It is so soft, guys. The cashmere is real. And I'm assuming it's her Concrete and Tulips color. Very muted colors. I really love it. It's beautiful. And I still can't quite tell if this is supposed to be her sock self-striping or her shawl self-striping. So I think I have to wind it and see what the colors are doing. If they're getting wider and wider and wider, then I know it's for a shawl. Or if it's staying the same, then I know it's for socks. I kind of want it to be the shawl self-striping, not gonna lie, because of that 20%. Because of the 20% cashmere that's in there. But it is beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. And I have wanted some caterpillar green or whatever she goes by now for a long time. That's actually a pretty good representation of the color right there. So yeah. So that was another D-stash purchase. I love taking other people's yarns from their stash and adding it to mine. Okay. So that was for my trip to the yarn store. I went with Megan. We both took part of the Single Ladies D-stash. I also picked up some of this. Oh. There we go. This is more of So Happy Jane, Miss Manners colorway. And I love purple. Purple is one of my favorite colors. And I don't have enough of it in my life, especially in my yarn stash. So this had to come with me. And this is her Bouncy Figurine 75-25% merino nylon. Again, So Happy Jane. Check her out. Very talented dyer. Very beautiful colors. Vibrant colors. I love it. So that was another purchase from my local yarn store. Those are done. Whew. What do I want to talk about? Let's talk about this. So I was in Eugene a couple weekends ago for a concert. Of course, new place. Well, Eugene is not new to me, but I want to check out their yarn stores. And I'd been to one in the town before, but I knew they had more. So I went to a new to me yarn store and picked up these. And this is Sunrise Fiber Co. And I want to say they are a Oregon company, which is really exciting. And this is on their Indelible Sock, which is another $75.25. And their Linger at Twilight color. And I loved the Mowry with the speckles. And I had to pick up 2 skeins just because I want to do a shawl out of it. I could possibly do the liquid gold shawl. That's part of my Make 9. But with 2 skeins, I could do most any shawl and it would be pretty. Because it's got the speckles, but they're not so wild and crazy. Yeah, so I just thought this was a really gorgeous color. So Sunrise Fiber Co. Indelible Sock, Linger at Twilight. Just another beautiful, gorgeous skein of yarn. Oh, my nose is killing me. I can feel the day cold kicking in because everything is starting to like run. That's really gross. I'm sorry. I am taking part in Molly Klein's 90s boy band club, which I'm such a 90s kid. I was born in 1987, so my childhood was the 90s. And so when she came out with this club, I had to jump on it. And this is January's color. And it is the Backstreet Boys. I'll be honest, I was an NSYNC girl. I love the Backstreet Boys, but I was more of an NSYNC fan. So I'm really hoping, like, I think back and I'm like, okay, 90s boy bands, Backstreet Boys, NSYNC, those are like the top 2. So I'm really hoping NSYNC comes in the next month or 2. There could be 98 Degrees. There could be Hanson. There could be, I think O-Town was more maybe like 1999, but early 2000s. Yeah, when I think of 90s boy bands, there are 4 obvious boy bands. NSYNC, Backstreet Boys, Hanson, 98 Degrees. So it's a 3-month club, and there are 4, to me anyway, very obvious ones. So we've got Backstreet Boys, which is a really fun color. This really kind of, I don't know if you're ever going to be able to see that, but it's got some dark navy into black, into some kind of brownie colors. It's a really cool skein of yarn. I really like it. And it's really soft. It's a very, very soft 75-25. Very, very different than this 75-25, like from No Law Knits. Like, let's talk about like yarn plumpness for a real hot second. Like, can you see how much more plump Molly's is than the No Law Knits? Both are great. Both are awesome. This is not scratchy, but this is very squishy and plump. So, yeah. Anyway. Oh, my nose. I'm so sorry, guys. That's probably really gross, but when I am home. And, yeah. Anyway. So, Backstreet Boys makes me very happy. No. Yeah, BSB Black and Blue, which was one of their albums. So, I'm really hoping I get February very soon. Just not like I'm going to knit with it really soon, but I just want to see it and what it is. I really hope it's NSYNC because they were my jam. Okay. I'm saving at least my favorite for last. I did a bit of a binge, a little splurge with some Yarn Cafe creations. More 75-25. Again, a very plump and plush 75-25. So you get a lot of yardage for a lot of squishiness. And this is her Fluffy Sock Fingering. This one is Barb from Stranger Things. I loved this color. A, I love Barb. And B, I love the peachy purple. I love the little bit of the mustard gold that's in there. So fun. And then again, 2 tonals, because like I said, my tonal collection is lacking. So this one is Storm, and this is Castle. And I thought these 3 would look very nice together if I wanted to do a shawl together. Ooh, I could do the girl's best friend shawl in this. That could be very fun and pretty. That's kind of on my, not on my make 9, but on my, I want to knit that shawl. So I could either do them separately, do them together. I bought them together, but I didn't necessarily buy them with the intention of I will knit them in something together. So if anything, I wanted to add some tonals to my collection, and I needed some Barb in my life. So that is my Yarn Cafe creations. Last but certainly not least, this is my big purchase. And it just is everything. This is from Primrose Yarn Company, and she has started this like rose gold collection. And you get me at rose gold. Like, let's be honest, I love me some rose gold. But it's a limited release of colors that, again, I think she is using 90s songs as inspiration. Let's talk about my 90s purchases lately. My 90s boy band club from Molly. Woolberry Fiber Company came out with a Full House sock club. Joined that. And then this 90s song inspired. And this is inspired by, no doubt, Just a Girl, which makes me oh so happy. And these are on her singles base. And I will, so her Adelaide base, which is a 100% superwash merino, 435 yards. Hold, please. I'm going to open the door and let the dog out. You're going to go ring the bell. I'm almost done, dog. Come on. Oh. Okay. Sorry, I didn't want to pause it just for that. Because I'm almost done. I will be doing the, oh gosh, why can't I think of the name now? The boho, oh, I have to look it up now. It's by Andrea Mowry. Oh, lordy. You gonna show me? You gonna do it? The boho blush. I knew it was something. Yes. The boho blush by Andrea Mowry. It's speckled. I don't know how this shawl's going to look in speckles, but it's a massive shawl, and it's got some brioche sections. And this is just, I need it in my life. So that's what this is going to be. These are going to be, because they're single base, I don't want to do a top out of it. I don't want to deal with the pilling. I'd much rather do a shawl, and 2 skeins wasn't quite enough. So I totally splurged and got 3 skeins of Just a Girl Primrose Fiber. I feel only a little bad because I know you can't get it. But I got it. Ta-da! So that's what this is going to be. I love, it's not quite gray. It's really a taupe color. And it has just got, let's open, I haven't opened these skeins up yet. So let's open one up. So a taupey base with, look at those speckles, guys. I cannot. Are you kidding me? So like what's fun, so here is that, and then I just flip it over. And it's just kind of the taupey base. So they're very delicate speckles. Like, look, this section is really a lot of just blue, but then you get into all those wild ones. It's just, I saw her Instagram story, I think, and it showed her dyeing this. And I messaged her and went, okay, when is this going into the shop? Because I need it in my life. And so she kind of laughed at me. And she was like, oh yeah, it's going in the end of the week or next week. Because all she said was, coming to the shop soon. I was like, okay, what does soon mean? Because I want to make sure that I get this. And that's kind of a lousy skein job, isn't it? It needs to be wound a little tighter. And she just kind of laughed and she said something about in the next week or something. And so I made sure to stalk her Instagram to make sure I knew when this was coming into her shop. So I could get it. And it's fun. It's because they're limited colors, and I think each rose gold update, she's got different inspiration as well as different bases, it sounds like. So for this, the rose gold update that I caught, she had her why can't I think of the name? Her Aran weight, her DK base, and then her singles base. I was really hoping that she would just have like a normal, like an 80-20, even an MCN sock base, and then I could have gotten away with buying just one skein. But I'm so happy with my purchase. And I think it's going to make a really stunning boho blush. So, that's that. I may have to edit my Make 9 and take something off and add this to it because this is happening. And with the limited knitting time I have, that means something else may not happen. But this is happening. I need to get a few things off of my needles, and then this is getting cast on. It's happening. So, yay! With that, I've rambled on long enough. I think I'm over an hour and a half, I think. But that's what happens when I've been gone for so long. I think the last long time, 20 minutes has just been straight up, here's where I've spent all my money. So with that, I'm going to let you go. Life stuff is really work, school, sickness. That is my life right now. So I hope that you enjoyed. If you did, hit the little thumbs up button. That just helps the podcast kind of get out there a little more. So like, subscribe, do all that fun jazz. Or don't. It's okay. And hopefully, fingers crossed, I'll see you in 2 weeks. So with that, I hope you have a fantastic 2 weeks and happy knitting. Bye!